Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a personal loan campaign that Universal Bank is trying to launch in order to get more people to secure more personal loans. So the business question we're trying to answer with this analysis is, how do we determine which customers are most likely to accept a personal loan offer? Our agenda for this presentation includes first going over some background information about the data set and about the company. Then we're going to go into the various tree maps that we've developed based on that data. And then we're going to go through what is the best model that we determined, and then some possible actions for the bank to take based on the model. So some background info. Last year, 9.6% of 5,000 customers accepted an offer for a personal loan from Universal Bank. Next, some info on the data set. So what is included in the data we used? First of all, we split our data into a test and validation set. So the test was 70% of the data, while the validation set used to test the models was 30% of the data. There were 14 total variables included in this data set, but for our models and our purposes, we only used 5. So our models used income, which is annual income in thousands of dollars of the customers. Next, we have education, which represents the total level of education for the customers, whether it's undergraduate, graduate, or advanced or professional. Next, we have the CC average, which represents the average spending on credit cards per month in thousands of dollars, and then family size of the customer. Next is the CD account, and this represents, does the customer have a certificate of deposit account with the bank? So here we have our first example of a tree map. You can see that up here, it represents how many people said yes to personal loans and how many people didn't say yes. So on the left side, we have the yeses, on the right side, we have the nos. And then right here, this tells us whether the majority accepted the loan or not. So in this instance, no, the majority of people did not accept the loan. So each split represents a variable based on whether or not they accepted the loan. So our first variable is income greater than or equal to 99,000? So we're going to say yes, income is greater than 99,000, and then we go to the next split, which represents education, graduate, or advanced or professional. So the majority of people did not accept the loan with an education, graduate, advanced, or professional, but let's say that we did have a graduate or professional education level, so we went to the next node. This one says, is income greater than or equal to 117,000? So if you would answer yes to this, you would go to the next node, which means yes, 100% of the people with these 3 variables did accept the loan. And then we see over here the percent of true yeses is 99.48%. This represents the specificity of the model, or how many people, when we test the model with our actual data set, did the model spit out the true value. So here that's a pretty high ranking. So here we have a second example of an option for a tree map. So up at the top, we see our most important node, which says, is income greater than 99,000, yes or no? Now you see that this tree map is a little bit simpler than the other one, where we don't see the figures in each split, we only see them at the bottom. So let's start with an example. So is income greater than or equal to 99,000? We say, no, it's not. So then we go down to credit card average. Is credit card average greater than or equal to 3,000? In this example, let's say, no, it's not. So here we come down to this node. The majority in this node is no, so the majority of people did not accept the loan. And here we see that 0 people said yes of those that have an income less than 99,000 and a credit card average less than 3,000. And we see that 2,474 people said no to the loan. This means that 71% of the people in our total data set said no in this instance. Let's try another example. Income is greater than or equal to 99,000. Let's start off by saying, yes, it is. So we come over here to education, graduate, advanced, or professional. Let's say, no, we do not have a graduate or advanced professional education. We come down to the node that says, family greater than or equal to 3. We're going to say, yes, we do have a family greater than or equal to 3, and we come down to income once again. Income greater than or equal to 114,000. We're going to say yes. Here we come down to this node, which is the majority of people said yes to a personal loan. We had 53 people say yes and 0 people say no with those previous variables mentioned. So this represents 2% of our overall data. Then we come up here and we see the percent of true yeses is 99.48%, which is similar to the last one, which means that when we put back our data back into our model, that 99.48% of the time the yeses that were in the data set were the yeses that the model determined. So that's, again, pretty high. So here we have our third tree map. The very top node says, is income greater than or equal to 114,000? Let's say in this example we say yes. So this tree map is a little bit simpler. There's only 3 splits, so it makes it a little easier to read, a little faster to understand and get through. Yes, income greater than or equal to 114,000. Then we go education, graduate, advanced, or professional. Let's say no. And then we come down to family, greater than or equal to 3. Let's say no once again. So in that instance, the majority said no, with 0 saying yes and 402 saying no, which represents 11% of our overall database. So you can go through that with any kind of variables to figure out what the majority would be. When we ran this model through the validation set, it said we have percent of true yeses, 99.85%, which is our highest specificity rate yet, which means that 99.85% of the data was accurate when we put it through the specific model. So here we'd say, based on our previous 3 models that we would show you, that our best model is number 3 because it had the highest specificity rate, which means that it was accurate the highest amount of times when we put it through the actual data set. So based on that information, we can say that the people that are most likely to accept the loan have an annual income over $117,000 with a graduate and advanced professional education level, or have an annual income of $114,000 with either an undergraduate or no degree and a family containing 3 members or above. And then also annual income over $114,000 with a monthly credit card spending of $3,000 or above and has a certificate of deposit account with the universal bank. Then on the flip side, we say those that are not likely to accept the loan have an annual income over $114,000 with either an undergraduate or no degree and less than 3 children, and then an annual income below $114,000 with a monthly credit card spending average below $3,000. So based on all of our information and our tree maps and everything that we gathered throughout this presentation, we would say that the actions for Universal Bank to take are to pursue the right customer. So what does that mean, to pursue the right customer? That means that we're pursuing the people that spend annually over $114,000 per year, that have either a graduate level or advanced professional education level, have a family of 3 or more kids, or spends more than $3,000 a month on a credit card. So all of these things, we would say that you are more likely to say yes to a personal loan account. Also, we want to encourage the opening of a certificate of deposit account with Universal Bank because it seems that those people are accepting the loans more. So finally, I just want to say I appreciate your time for this presentation and I apologize for my voice. I'm very sick and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.